This budget chart illustrates a plan the state of Maryland came up with in 2008 to solve a financial shortfall. They calculated that by heavily taxing their wealthiest residents, the state would collect an extra $106 million every single year. But the same chart shows exactly how that policy backfired in reality. By the second year, thousands of those millionaires simply vanished. They moved their businesses and families across state lines, taking their tax revenue with them. Instead of gaining money, Maryland lost $257 million. This case reveals a common blind spot in policymaking. We naturally judge rules by their stated intentions, assuming that people will stay exactly where they are and behave perfectly according to a spreadsheet. Economics tracks the mechanical rules of human behavior. By studying how individuals actually respond to incentives and rewards, we can better predict the real-world results of even the best-intentioned plans. Maryland's tax plan failed because it ignored the primary driver of human choice, incentives. By passing that law, the state rewarded their wealthiest citizens for leaving, and people responded to that reward. This same principle applies to your personal life. Every dollar you spend and every hour you work can only be used once. Choosing one option guarantees you give up another, a permanent sacrifice known as a trade-off. We can see this in a simple data visualization comparing two vehicle purchases. On the left, a luxury BMW for $50,000. On the right, an economy Toyota for $20,000. While the cars look different, the critical variable is the $30,000 difference in capital you hold onto by choosing the Toyota. If you take that extra $30,000 and invest it instead, this chart tracks the long-term impact of that trade-off. Over 30 years, compound interest grows that money into nearly $250,000. That luxury Burgess effectively cost you $250,000 in lost future wealth. Every dollar spent on one thing is a dollar that cannot grow somewhere else. Mapping out these trade-offs reveals the actual weight of a decision beyond its immediate price tag. When Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev visited Britain, he was baffled by the logistics of a free market. He asked Margaret Thatcher how the government makes sure millions of citizens in a city like London are fed every day. Thatcher explained that there is no government minister of food. No one in a central office decides where the bread or milk goes. Prices coordinate the entire system. Imagine trying to control the daily supply of pizza for an entire nation. You would have to know exactly how much cheese to produce tomorrow, which cities need more tomatoes, and how many ovens to build. The number of rapidly changing variables makes central planning impossible for any human or computer. Prices act as a decentralized data network. They instantly signal to suppliers where resources are scarce and where they are abundant, ensuring that products move to where people want them most. Prices serve as the only direct signal we have regarding the scarcity or abundance of resources across an entire nation. What happens when politicians try to artificially adjust these signals to make goods more affordable? Consider New York City's rent controls. By artificially capping prices to help the poor, the city inadvertently triggered hoarding. People who might otherwise have moved or found roommates kept large apartments to themselves because the price was so low, leaving no room for those who actually needed housing. Because landlords cannot charge a market rate, they have no financial incentive to repair roofs or fix boilers. They eventually walk away entirely, resulting in thousands of abandoned, rotting apartments sitting empty in a city with a massive homeless population. The same breakdown occurs when prices are forced too high. In the early 2000s, India's government guaranteed an artificially high payout for wheat to protect farmers. Farmers predictably responded by overproducing to capture the guaranteed reward. 11 million tons of surplus wheat piled up in warehouses and rotted, while citizens in other parts of the country faced starvation. Manipulating prices breaks the supply chain. In these scenarios, the poorest citizens lose the most, as the goods they rely on either rot in warehouses or disappear from the shelves entirely. These dynamics scale directly to your paycheck. A personal wage is a price signal based on the economic value a worker creates. It is a measurement of results rather than physical effort. If a worker's output generates $10 of value an hour, but a business is forced to pay them a $15 minimum wage, that job becomes a financial loss. The business must either automate the role or close the shop to remain viable. This logic also applies to international trade. While it is often framed as a competition where one nation wins and the other loses, trade is a voluntary exchange that would not continue if both sides didn't benefit. Consider a highly paid lawyer who makes $300 an hour. Even if they are good at cleaning, it is more efficient for them to hire a cleaner for $20 an hour. By trading for that service, the lawyer can focus on their most valuable work, and both parties end up with more wealth. Trade is an engine of cooperation. Whether it happens between coworkers or superpowers, specializing in what you do best and trading for the rest increases the total amount of goods available to everyone. Grasping these economic mechanics provides a specific framework for evaluating why certain policies succeed while others collapse. It allows you to look past the rhetoric of a proposal and see the likely outcome. The next time a politician or corporation promises a solution, look past the stated intent. Instead, ask exactly what behavior they are rewarding.